Hi. So, I'm Mary Margaret Bueno, and I'm applying for a project management internship at Symph. So, instead of listing skills, I want to share how my experiences, mostly academic and personal, already shaped how I think, plan, and take responsibility. Because this is why I believe I can grow and contribute at Symph. So, when I was appointed as class president in fourth grade, I realized something early on. Power also equates with responsibility. It stopped being about me and it started being about the people I was responsible for. Like it's not about me anymore. Like I have to think what's the best for the people who are relying on me. So that's why I have to think before deciding. I couldn't just decide hazily. Every decision had consequences, so I learned to always think before deciding. So, I also have to always think about the good and the bad outcomes, something I knew is important to real projects too. So I developed this skill about planning and organizing. So I started organizing everything for our section or any class group activities that I was assigned as a class no as a group leader. So I jot down the deadlines, the plans, the activities. I tried to make things clear and structured, but since I'm still elementary that time, so maybe that it is not that organized. I remember I'm just writing it down on my paper to be organized and to remind myself the things that are needed to be done. So looking back, this is where my planning mindset really started. So I assigned tasks and expected people to do their part. I believe that responsibility matters. So if you are assigned to something, you should do your part because as a group leader sometimes I expected them to do their part because I wanted to pass the projects or the task on time. I don't want to be late. So this principle still guides how I work with teams today. So I sent reminders, a lot of them. Like I did follow-ups and monitoring to the people who are my group mates. So some people found them annoying because like they don't wanted to be reprimanded or to be reminded, but based on what I have learned for this past few years, like there are really group mates who even though you keep on reminding them, they will not do their part. Like they will just forget it as if it is not important. But for me it is very important. So some people found them annoying, but I learned that without follow-ups, things fall apart. So this taught me how to track progress and make sure work actually moves, or like we will pass the project or the task on time. So when people couldn't finish their task, I usually stepped in and to make sure that work was done. But I also communicated clearly about what happened if they will not comply to this task. Like I will just tell them na, um, like I will tell the teacher that you haven't contributed your task or you did not do your part. So I learned how to balance the execution and honestly something I believe is important in team environment because if you're a member in a team you should like really do your part because if only one part is not done, then everything is affected. Like it won't work well. It won't drive the success that you want to achieve. And then I was also expected to discipline my classmates. I don't know how school organizations or classroom organization works in other schools, but in our school, I was expected to reprimand my classmates. So maybe we're still kids because it's so like weird to do that in college. So if things went wrong, I was the one to blame. So that pressure taught me ownership, not avoiding responsibility, but accepting it, even though it is kind of unfair and uncomfortable for me. But that's the that's how power equates with responsibility. You have to be responsible even though you're not the one who did the act. So so that wasn't a one time thing. So from fourth grade until 10th grade, I was appointed as class president every year. So even when some people didn't like my strictness or the way I handle things, because I really reminded them, I always tell them the rules or things that needed to be done. I feel like consistent. I feel like they still voted for me because consistency and reliability mattered for them. So, oh, that was me when I was still in high school. Like I joined different volunteering activities. I'm also the group leader for that research thing, and we won, by the way. So when it comes to my strengths and friction, I knew I can be strict. I really value responsibility and I dislike it when tasks are assigned but not done. At the same time, I've learned that leadership involves friction, like, and learning how to handle it. So, I've also held different student government rules, the SPG, president, assistant secretary, class representative, and auditor. So, these rules taught me structure, documentation, and accountability, like things that are essential in organized teams. Like I've really learned a lot joining this kind of activities. And there was a time I was offered to become SSG president when I was in 10th grade, but I declined because that time it was after the pandemic, and like I don't really like the pandemic what happened to me during pandemic. Like I've become aloof, like I've doubted myself and had low self-esteem. I regret that decision, like, but it taught me something important about confidence and growth. So when I moved to the city for senior high, everything changed. Like it is new environment. You have to met new people. I felt unsure and really quiet at first. I thought like I would be invisible for them. I honestly thought like, yeah, I would be invisible. So but people started believing in me. I became the leader in group activities again, the director for projects, especially for the movie project, because we have really many movie projects when I was still in senior high, and the one working behind the scenes. So, for instance, we have this fashion show, and we have the designer, and the designer will tell me what are the things to be done, the materials, things needed, and I will deliver it to them. I will make the designs true to life, and I was the one who like um supervise my classmates on what are the things to do in order for us to do the designs. And I learned that leadership doesn't always come with a title. So I handle the planning, timelines, the letters needed, and the requirements. So before executing anything, I always ask myself, is this feasible today? I learned to plan realistically, not ideally, because there are many time wasted if you will not if you will plan something that is not realistic. So in 12th grade, I had research, work immersion, and college applications all at once. I listed everything down and prioritized what mattered the most. So I always finished task before doing things just for entertainment. Oh, that was me when I was still in senior high, and the same with high school. I also joined volunteer works, and I'm the class mirror when I was in 12th grade. So when I started computer science in UP, I thought I was confident already because of what I have experienced when I was still in senior high. My experience in imposter syndrome and burnout. I focused only on academics and realized that balance matters. So I started joining workshops, seminars, and volunteering in school activities. I learned how important communication, collaboration, and community are not just technical skills. So now in my second year, I volunteer intentionally because I wanted to learn, and I feel like if you met other people and like you can learn new things that you haven't learned yet. So I joined Stellar PH, Hackathons, Hacktoberfest, UPCSG, and other organizations as a volunteer. So these experiences helped me become more organized and taught me how to work with teams and clients. So I don't have a formal project management experience yet, but I've spent years organizing people, managing responsibilities, following through on deadlines, and reflecting on my mistakes. I'm applying to Symph because I wanted to learn in a real project environment, and I knew I can contribute my discipline, my planning mindset, accountability, and willingness to grow. That's why I believe uh, Symph should accept my internship application. I really hope so. Thank you.